Have you heard that song?
Chicken and waffles?
The waffle song?
What is that?
Oh, it's good, man. It's a Perry Grip original. Yeah, dude, run that out. Run that out. Let's do that as the intro music.
All right.
Waffle City, I think is what it's called.
We're going to start
Waffle City.
another episode of the RSL
Oh, we were recording.
Random Fan Podcast.
Yeah.
It helps when we record.
I'm a host.
Yeah, I'm
You're
a
also
host
a
too.
host too.
I'm a host. You're a host.
I'm Brent. You are.
Brennan.
And you are.
Tyler. It's actually pronounced Tyler.
Tyler Thomas. I like to use this voice when we do the podcast. All right, welcome in, everybody. Thanks for coming. Appreciate you
practiced our
showing
podcast
up.
voice.
Yeah, my podcast voice.
RSL went to Nashville. I don't know if they got to Dollywood. Didn't look like it. Down there in Pigeon Fork, whatever it is.
Pigeon Fork?
Pigeonhole, pigeon thing.
I don't
Pigeon.
know.
Anyway, they didn't go to Dollywood. That was bait and switch. They thought they were going down there, but then they had to play a game. So they played Nashville. Starting lineup, Real Salt Lake. First, I think only second time all season where they've
played a lineup that they played before?
Yeah, Saint 2 in a row. Cabral, the wall in the back at goal, and then Hidalgo, Vera, Glad, Catranis in the middle, and Elian Ojeda. Mark Juke on the right, Luna in the middle, Gonsalves. You guys know he's a designated player.
Deep beat.
Out on the left, and the Australian, the man from down under, Arieth Pial, up top.
Yep. And then the bench. Who was on the bench? Junkwa, Steiduhar, T-Wolf, Philip Quinton, Noel Calascan, Xavier Gozo, Nelson. Don't run into him from behind, Palacio, Lachlan Brook, and
You know what's so funny is when I re-listen to this podcast,
yeah.
how long you guys take to do this stupid lineup is actually not that long. But when I'm actually physically here, it feels like years.
Forever, huh?
Like you guys spend so much time enunciating every freaking word. And it's just like, just get through it. But then when I re-listen to it, I'm like, oh, it's not that long.
And
Yeah, chill, man.
Who's the worst starter? Who started the worst? Who on that team doesn't belong? Is there somebody there that doesn't belong, or you feel like that's our best 11?
Oh, that's our best 11 with the exclusion of Hidalgo.
Yeah, that's the best 11. I think that's the best 10 players we have.
10?
Yeah.
And who's 11?
Hidalgo. I think if
who should be 11 is what I'm saying. If he's 12 or 13,
I think
that's the problem.
Javane Brown's got an ACL thing. I would have rather seen him. I mean, he's more active.
I think if Bodie Hidalgo is your starting right back, you don't have a starting right back. You don't have an MLS level starting right
But
back.
hey, don't worry, Tyler. It's okay. We don't say he's bad. We just think his skill set is not something that is going to be...
I wanted to start the podcast talking about Bodie, because more Bodie means more time talking about boys I love, right? Like, just love that guy. He's a stud. I think he's great.
Boys, Thomas Love is not a segment we're going to start.
Bodie Hidalgo is a stud. He is bringing it on the right side. Nobody beats him off the dribble. He's not getting beat in behind again like he was before. He's making good angles. He's making good passes. He is not the reason we gave up either of the goals. He is not a weak link in the team. He belongs on the team. Maybe he's number 12, 13, or 14, but he's not far off the top 11.
Well, I would go with that. I would say I don't have a problem with him being on the team. I just think that RSL, he is not an MLS starting quality right back at the moment. He's still young. He could be. I'm not going to say he won't be, but I think at the moment I would rather have.
You'd rather have Andy Nahar?
Oh yeah,
really?
I would almost have anybody that's a starting right back.
What if we took Lachlan Brook and we played him at right back? Would you like that?
I wouldn't be surprised if we did.
Because,
really? Yeah, well, that's what RSL
I mean,
does.
he's left-footed, but probably not him, but somebody else, right?
Let's people out of position.
Yeah. I mean, take one of our attacking players, Tyler Wolf, or somebody like that, and play him out of position.
But I'll say this.
Right back.
I'll say this. I don't think Hidalgo's a big part of the problem right now.
No.
Yeah.
But what we should say is Hidalgo better than Philip Quinton?
And I would say no.
See, there it is right there.
I agree with that. I think Quentin is the man who should be in the starting lineup. That's not, but I don't know where to put him.
It's true. I mean, with the way we're playing right now, the 4-2-3-1, we're playing with 3 guys in the back. Katrenis is going to move way up, so it's not really. We don't really need that pure right back that's going to move up the field.
Right.
We just need somebody to fill the space and be defensive minded, and Philip brings that. But also, you got to think, like, if we put all of our center backs in all the time, one of them's going to get hurt. And Philip is still not 100%. So
I like Philip. I do think he tends to negative pass more often than he should. And there was one opportunity where he had a chance for a give and go, and he chose to send it back in this game. I was trying to find it again.
Yeah.
And it was a turnover, almost turned into a Nashville goal. And it was because he hasn't developed the confidence to play the ball forward.
Well, this is one thing that I kind of want to break down if we got a sec to go through this.
I guess
and
it's
this
all
is the
Bodie
new
all
segment, The Breakdown by Tyler Thomas.
And what I want to break down is this right side attack. We work really hard to get the ball out to Mark Zook. Markchuk.
Is that how do you say his
The
name?
I think it's
Polish guy.
Markchuk.
Dominic. Markchuk.
Marzuka.
We could just go
Marzuka.
Dominic. We could go Dominic.
Marzuki. Anyway,
Marzipan.
Marzipan. Anyway, we get it out to Dominic. Mm-hmm. And I think we work really hard to make that happen.
Right.
We're trying to set that up. We're trying to get him in one-on-one situations where he can beat his guy because he can.
The Gomez way.
Yeah. Push it down the line and then do that thing where either you whip a ball into the box, right, which was super dangerous all game, or beat the guy off the dribble and bring it into the box. Either way, it's great. Flip back to your left and go in. That's what this team is built upon, just like Gomez did, and that's where we had success when he was here, and that's where Markchuk can have success here with us now. It's there. But I think the biggest problem in this game was he got bullied. The announcer said, "Oh, it's kind of like he's getting bullied out there." And he was. No? What do you think?
For Dominic?
Yeah, I think there were 5 or 6 more times in this game he could have dribbled at his defender, and he didn't do it.
Well, let's see. If you were in that position, you get isolated by yourself. You're trying to be aggressive. You start to get bullied, and you look towards your teammates to see if they can help you out. They're nowhere near you. They're not helping.
But
They're
that's
just
what you
giving.
want.
Well,
Right?
That's maybe what the coaching wants. I'm not sure Mark Juke is an Andreas Gomez where he's just looking forward. Mark Juke is looking for an outlet. He's looking for a way to work. He wants to give it off. If he can't make a move, he wants to be able to send it, change the angles, and come in. It's not something that I would put as far as his skill set. I mean, he hasn't shown it, but also Andreas Gomez didn't show it for a year and a half. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to be hard on that guy.
Well, and I'm not saying he's doing it wrong, right? Because he's taking his chances. Mm-hmm. But if we're working really hard to get him isolated on the wing, and the reason I say this is because Arsenal does the same thing. Arsenal works to get Bukayo Saka the ball out wide and Martinelli on the other side. They work hard to get them switched so that it's one-on-one. Because when it's two-on-one, there's so much more ground the defenders can cover. Mm-hmm. But if they just get the one-on-one, then it's so much better, and they can go at him and get by him with a lot more sophistication and prowess. But if they never go for it, then they just kind of sit there. And Martinelli does this all the time. It drives me nuts. And I don't want Mark Chuk to fall into this is they go slow, set up, you know, baby touch, and never go. Right? At some point, you just got to go and hope you're faster at that second. That's part of that faith in yourself as a player, part of that faith in your confidence in your abilities to go, I'm beating him right now. And you just go, right? And that's, you have that belief in yourself. And if you ever watch Henri do like his analysis of that, it's cool to watch him break it down because he was a world-class player, right? I'm just kind of repeating what a world-class player said, obviously. But that's one of the things that he can bring. But if you never push yourself to that far end line, so what if you lose it on the end line? Who cares? You know? But don't not do it is what I'm trying to say.
I think you're overcompensating because we were mean to Bodie.
Well, and also, so at what point did you feel that Mark Juke was an issue in the game?
Second half when he wouldn't take people on.
Okay, but then he had success early in the first half.
But let's talk about that.
No, I'm not. We'll go into details, but I'm just trying to do a summation of it.
Yeah.
So he had success in the first half. What about the other side?
Luna's doing something different.
Luna was in the middle.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
But then you have Diogo, who's a DP. Where is he?
What is his game?
We don't know.
That's the problem.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Problem,
so like
right?
you went really hard on Mark Juke, but then
I'm just
Mark
saying,
Juke doesn't. No, I want to
we
say
know what
this.
to expect. But go ahead.
But Mark Juke does not have Catranis behind him. Mark Juke does not have Ojeda and Anelli feeding him. Mark Juke gets isolated far up into that right corner.
Yeah.
And with Hidalgo not feeling comfortable, or I think it's just in the tactics or whatever, he's not meant to.
Yeah.
Mark Juke is pretty much put a bigger burden on. Like, he has to carry more weight and he has to be successful in far less successful scenarios compared to Diogo, where Diogo is having help all around him. He's got quality all around him.
Yeah.
And yet Mark Juke was the issue, even though Mark Juke had more options. Like, he created more things in that game than I think Diogo did ever.
Yeah, in this game, I think Mark Juke was more valuable than Diogo was.
Right, and we've been wanting them to link up with Mark Juke more because at the starting of the season, it was nothing going through him. They left him out there on an island.
Also, the goal we did score that counted was Diogo. He made that run in when nobody expected it. He ghosted in, got behind the defenders, and then whipped that ball back post to Mark Juke, who tapped it in. So
that was not meant for Mark Juke. That's Mark Juke putting in that extra effort.
Yeah.
There is no reason for him to be that close to the 6-yard line. That was full on Mark Juke being aggressive,
right, but
and doing his job.
Created by Gonçalves.
No.
Yeah, he made that run.
So
they
it
played the
was
ball in over the top.
It was a shot.
You think that was a shot?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 1,000%.
It was
Really?
a shot that was defended by the keeper.
Yeah, Mark Juke created that out of absolutely. We're gonna watch YouTube.
Are we watching it? Let's
We're
watch
gonna
it.
go.
Okay, well, we're doing.
We'll be back. We'll be back.
Okay, so maybe I'm confusing the two.
The second goal.
The two goals, yeah.
The second goal
Maybe
was
right.
Dominic sending it across and Barea put it in. The first goal.
Yeah. Sorry.
Let's
been a
talk
couple
about the
days since the
first.
game.
The first 20 minutes of the game. I thought RSL looked better than they've looked all season.
I need YouTube TV. I can't do these commercials. I mean, come on, guys.
It's brutal, huh?
No, I should have done the free trial. Whatever. Sorry.
So the first 20 minutes
did look good.
RSL looked really good. In the first minute or so, we had the first opportunity, which I thought was great, and that came because of Mark Juke. He had the ball. He tried to go, and he get to the end line. He cut it back and was kind of deflected. So he sends it to the middle, and I think it was Ojeda. And Ojeda first times it right across the box, and Piol, I really wanted this goal to go in. It was so close.
Yeah, when Peel had that
because he
kind of withdrawn shot, he kind of pulled back and then shot it. Yeah.
I think he was like going forward. He got in front of the defender.
Yeah.
First timed it and almost beat Willis, who
but missed
has the
post.
worst mustache in Major League Soccer. But that's a whole other segment. We'll have to do that after Boys Tyler likes. But
Oh yeah, 1,000%. Ready to watch.
Yeah, no, so that whole play was awesome. Piol, Luna, like even Catranis, like sliding in and crossing that ball. Like that was top effort by 5 or 6 guys. Right?
So-
I'm talking about this one here.
So
in the
this-
fifth
Oh, the
minute,
first chance, the
where
one
he
where Mark-
missed it.
Mark-
yeah.
yeah.
That chance should have been a goal,
Oh,
and that
absolutely.
was created by Gonçalves. That's what I was talking about. In the fifth minute, it
That was-
feels like Gonçalves starts the game really well. Is what I see. He likes to get on the ball early. He likes to make runs over the top. But I feel like he doesn't do that towards the end of games.
I think he feels like he's getting figured out later in the game. Like what he can do is just getting like defenders or figuring out where he runs and stuff, and so he kind of gives up, which is kind of annoying. I've kind of been there.
Yeah,
You know what I
right.
mean?
It's almost like he like halfway gives up.
Yeah,
He's like, I'm not going to make that run.
they
because
got
I'm not
this.
gonna get
They
the
got.
ball.
They can block me there. They can do this, and so he kind of just like searches for something.
But
Yeah.
you got to have 11 guys running to play our style.
Well, I mean, you got to give
Right?
him credit though. The last 3 games, he's been putting in miles. He has been defensively, especially that last game at home. I mean, he backtracked quite heavily on that right side.
Yeah.
And so the first opportunity was like in the second minute, and in the fourth minute, or I think it was the fourth and the sixth minute. The second opportunity was the one where I liked it. I was rewatching the game. RSL had the ball. I didn't count the passes, but they had the ball for a while. They tried to go around the right side. They weren't getting anything going, so they went back. It ended up back to Cabral, and then they were kind of reset. Nobody was pressuring Glad. He just had the ball. Everybody was reset. He sends it over to Vera, and Diogo makes the run, and Vera finds him over the top.
Yeah.
And then he sends a beautiful cross across the front of goal, and I don't know how.
And it's a bang bang play. Sometimes you miss the goal. I get it. He went high with it, which
He went for a punch. He didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't go. He tried to do just a controlled punch with the inside of his foot, and since the ball was slightly bouncing, it just deflected up.
It's really easy to get your angle wrong on that one.
Doing drumming.
No, it's tough because you got to really those ones you got to hit the ball down.
Yeah.
You got to kind of go laces through it. Oh my gosh, dude! Can you be any more loud?
Do you need your phone there, bro? Do you
I'm
want
so
to stick your head in my
flexible.
mic? No, Mark, you definitely could have had an
But he-
easy goal there in the
Well,
fifth
he still
minute.
had it. He had
Fifth,
to
sixth
lift the
minute.
ball. That defender coming across, he
Yeah.
blocked anything on the ground, so he had to lift it no matter what. But you can see
Yeah, but
he
you can
didn't.
do that kick down thing,
He didn't.
right?
He didn't time his steps correctly to where that right foot is free to hit it. He
Right.
kind of did a shuffle to readjust, and he was a little late on it. You can see the ball was right underneath his hip. So I mean, that's going to be a really hard ball to lift. And
But the beauty about that is that combination was working, right?
Oh, yeah.
We were getting balls in behind them. We were squaring balls across. But then they figured us out. They started dropping deeper and deeper. And then Lovitz turned into I'm going to start decking people and see what happens kind of guy. And do you think Lovitz got let off a little easy?
Just a bit.
I
Just
saw
a
like
bit.
17 or 18 different comments online about people just popping off about why is Lovett still on the field, right? And then there he is later on. But so
instant replay though
yeah,
calls it a yellow.
do you think that's the right call?
No, 1,000%. This is the one of the times where I actually am wanting the consistency of the league to stay.
Right.
Last year, I could have sworn, I can't remember what game it was. There was something that happened to us. There was also something that happened to one of the Eastern teams where it was something like that, where it was disguised, like a real, like harming the player was disguised as a natural movement. And if you played it live, it looked like how it looked, but if you played it in slow motion, it looked casual.
Right.
And I hated that because when you watch this,
Yep.
it's a full-on live. That's intent. That's harmful. Like, that's a red card to the face.
He took 2 steps towards him after the ball was played.
I've never once stopped and turned and did 2 arms up like this. I have never once.
I don't know how that's any sort of natural.
I knew I was going to agree with you on this, and I felt a little weird.
I
You know what I mean?
I agree too.
Because I was like, that's like it was almost like we were we're kind of losing it here.
Like Katranis does this all the time. Mm-hmm. But he keeps his hands down.
Yeah, 1,000%.
And he pushes them in the guts. Like, I think he aims at his guts, and he's short. So he gets away with that more than, say, Lovitz did coming up into the throat.
I was watching the game live, and you could hear it on the broadcast.
Yeah. Mark
And it's
Duke, like cried out, like, what?
I said,
right?
that's a red card. I told my wife, it's like, oh, red card. and then they didn't even call a foul on it.
Nope.
Right. And the fourth official was right there.
I don't know how it's not a red. I get where you can say, oh, it's soft, but there was so much intent in that elbow. He was aiming for his
Face.
face. It was that, and that's the part that if you just watch the game, you watch the player, you pay attention, you can see he had intent.
Because
And
he had gotten beat over and over and over. This is like the fourth time Mark Chuka's just roamed by him.
I thought
and
you
he's-
said Mark Juku. Oh, you're talking about second half. I'm just giving you a hard time. But yeah, I thought that I was really surprised that it wasn't a red. And then a minute later, he goes. So you give him a yellow, and then a minute later,
So
he goes
gets a yellow.
right through him again. And any other player.
And then how do you not send him off after that?
Yeah, I'm like I said, I am the biggest ref appreciator, ref lover around, but I don't think that I think they got those wrong. I really do.
No, I think that turned the game too, because I mean he was the reason for the second goal. I mean their first goal.
Yeah.
It was if he was gotten a red card, this is a whole different game, and I think we come out of this with a win because our first half was not bad. I would say it was better than
was
to be
good.
expected.
Yeah, good.
Going over there.
Especially on the road.
The
Yeah.
first 20 minutes, and RSL has a better XG on the road than at home.
Weird, huh?
Yeah. But I thought the first 20 minutes they were playing really well. They were possessing the ball. They had multiple opportunities. We could have had at least 3 goals in the first. Piols was not far off. I think if he gets that
Yep.
inside the post, I think he beats Willis.
And even
Yes.
in the 5th minute, that chance with
With
Marchuk,
right, on the
and
cross.
then he did get the goal.
Then he gets a goal.
And Diego had an opportunity that he was saved, but
He could have scored.
he could
right?
have scored it. But I thought that RSL and that red card, that not red card, it seemed like that tipped the game, right? Nashville,
yeah.
Nashville's probably a better team than RSL at the moment, a little better.
What?
Yeah, I think with Zimmerman, they're a better team, but I don't think they played better than we did in
No,
this game.
no, I don't.
The first 20 minutes, I thought, was all RSL. And I think if the game really would have been different with the red card, obviously.
Yeah, but we still show. Go ahead.
But I say, taking that out of account, I thought after that, the game tipped in Nashville's favor.
For long stretches
of time. I mean, if it wasn't for Cabral, they might have been up 2-1 before halftime.
Oh my God, that guy had such good saves. That guy
So,
is so
and
good.
also, too, there's another example. I think this is a third goal RSL's given up in the box, right?
So we suck at corners. Can we talk about that for a minute?
If you blame this on Glad, I'm gonna be mad.
I'm not blaming it on Glad. I'm blaming it on the way we defend corners as a whole.
I think
Did you watch the way that they
The
attacked
problem-
us and we kind of stood and ran into each other and nobody jumped when the ball was
Well,
up there?
one
Like-
common denominator that we have with these corners is the inward run towards the goal. We get trapped behind. When they do that little circle run just before we start, they don't they don't understand it's boxing out and that's the rim, right?
Exactly. It's a basketball play.
You have to get your flesh and blood inside that defender regardless where they are.
Yes.
But if you look in all the times that we've let it go, it was because we didn't get in front of them and we were following them.
Yeah.
Like, we kind of have to be a dick.
That's what I'm
in
saying.
the box.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to. Because if you don't, you give up goals like this.
Yeah. And there's certain... Sorry. Did you want to go?
No, go ahead.
There's certain players on our team that get that. Vera, he's going to be a dick.
Even Bodie was doing it. You
Bodie?
see him defending Sturridge?
Petranis
Sturridge
is
almost
getting there.
got nothing in the air. And he's good.
Glad is tiptoeing that line because he knows how to do things right, but then he's guarding like the more prolific header, like he's marking the right guy. But you're seeing like weakness in certain areas. Like our midfield guys, they're not so good at marking.
Yeah, and I think Pule thought he had that header.
Yeah.
And he went to
I was
head
thinking
it.
the same thing.
And then that guy stuck his head in front of him and headed it in.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, I've been there. I'm not great in the air. I never was. I was never great in the air. I don't know how these guys attack that and score like this, man. I think that only ever happened to me one time, and it's just because I was running and the ball hit me in the face and went in. You know what I mean? But, I mean, that takes an incredible amount of skill to do what Lovitz did. But should he have been on the field?
No, I don't think he should have been on the field. If you're going to give him a yellow, they should have given him a second yellow because he had intent on the second one.
Yeah.
But I know it's, you get tired of me saying it, but I think size matters.
Okay, it's okay.
I think it does. I think size matters.
Agreed.
You heard it here first, folks.
Size
matters.
Who was the tallest player on the team?
Quentin.
Was he out there? Nope. I mean, Vera. Justin Glad is probably the best center back, and he's 6 feet tall.
Yeah, 6'1", maybe 6'ish. But yeah, even the commentators were talking about how Vera was slightly undersized, right?
See, the thing, if you're marking them, if you are fully like, this is my guy, you are on him. You are physically touching him, right?
Right.
You got arms here. You're interlocking. You're getting away with whatever you can get away with.
Yeah.
When they elevate, you are still pushing.
Right.
You are being as physical as you possibly can before they leave the ground. And that's why there's so many center backs that are not tall that are so successful. Yeah. Because when they're on the ground, they eliminate so many chances. Like Martinez from Argentina, when he played in the World Cup.
Not big.
He's not big, but man, he was good. Like, he can really, really do stuff. The problem is we are giving players space. Every player that scored a goal off a header against us had space because our man let him have it.
And 3 of the guys are short as heck.
Yeah,
well, also, too, if you watch the play again, Nashville did a great job having a player go through first.
Yeah.
And pick up a defender and clear the way. So there was some good play on there. Good design play on their part to get a guy open to come in. But, yeah, somebody should have a body on him before he gets in the air.
Yeah, and I think because watching this game and the last game, we're starting to pick up what I really enjoy, which is where we stop caring about what others think and we just go in there and we are going to be emotional. Like, I really enjoy that tenacity that we're building, and we need to keep that. We're getting a little stagnant in certain areas. As soon as the play's stopped and they're setting up, we are far too like, okay, calm down, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, don't calm down. Like, stay in that moment.
Keep that intensity
Keep
up.
it going. Yeah, like.
I would like to see them have a little more bite.
They have so much bite. You can't say that.
No. I agree with you. Go ahead.
What?
Yeah.
I think what I'm talking about is when Dominic Markchuk is getting fouled and beat up.
Oh, you want camaraderie. You want
nobody let Lovitz know that it ain't cool to hit my teammate in the face.
You touch
with
my boy again, I'm gonna deck you, right?
Well,
like, you got to have somebody on our team that's going up, and
it's not dirty, and it's not mean.
No,
it's just
It's just defending my boy.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Markchuk doesn't like coordinate with his teammates that well. Maybe they don't like him. I don't know.
I don't think he's.
Maybe Luna needs to go over there and get at him. I don't know. Like, somebody.
Well, so there's the language barrier that's pretty tough, right?
Not from Lovitz.
No, I'm talking about.
speaks English.
I know. Right? I'm talking about the team.
No,
I'm talking about our team. Our team.
Yeah.
So Markchuk hasn't built up that bond with the team yet, and it shows. Like, it shows in practice. It shows in the games that he is super isolated in everything that he does. Like,
even though that's what we're trying to do.
No. I'm talking about like
he's isolated from the team.
Well, yeah, he's isolated in the sense that he hasn't bonded. Like, when you're playing on a new team, you don't know anybody. You don't know what they like, what they don't like. You don't know their personality really well. You know what position they're going to do and all that, and you work as a team in that sense. But as a team, individually, they haven't bonded with everybody on the field. And so it's like, why would they stand up for somebody that they don't really know that they would go to war with?
They're your teammate.
But it doesn't work that way.
I think that's a mentality, though. There has to be a mentality.
See, but it worked that way with Kyle, and that's what we got used to, is the old Kyle Beckerman. You touch my boy again, I'm going to put my cleat through your neck, right?
That's
like,
because Kyle and Javi were lifers. They were RSL no matter what. These players that are coming on, they're not being treated like they're lifers.
Well, I mean, a couple guys on the team are lifers. Glad's
so
been a lifer.
If something happens to Glad, there's going to be something said. If something happens to freaking Anelli, something's going to be done.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't agree at all.
That's what he's worried about, right?
Oh,
that's
no.
the concern.
No, I think,
and I think maybe Anelli needs to be that guy. He needs to be the guy that goes up to Lovitz, and even if he does it in a different way than Kyle did with the whole, shaking his big mane and his big old dreads
start with
flopping
Pablo.
everywhere, right? But like Anelli could go up there and be like, "Dude, you touch my boy again," whatever.
No, it needs to be Pablo.
I don't think it's
somebody
a conversation.
needs to, and this is where Ojeda could do it because it doesn't have to be a conversation. It could be the ball goes out wide and he just follows that ball and just sprints his tail off. And as soon as the ball gets there, he just runs him over.
I don't know. I watched practice, and you can tell they do not have a bond with him. And it's really frustrating.
And so maybe it's a combination of those two things because we don't have a Tree to go knock him over. Because Tree used to do it last year.
Well, that's because he's from England. England football is life.
That's what I'm saying.
There are
right?
so many unwritten rules that they know compared to Columbia. Like,
So it sounds like we got a lot of work to do. So we'll have to. I hope they're taking notes.
yeah.
No, but I totally agree with that. And the more we can play as a team, the more we defend each other, the more we go take a foul or get a yellow for knocking over Lovitz for that behavior because the ref got it wrong. Like, then we're defending each other. We're there for each other. We're more boys.
All I'm trying to say is Pablo needs to take him out to the woods and do a couple trust falls, and we'll be fine.
A couple trust
falls. Let it happen. Everybody giggles. Everybody loves each other. They come back refreshed. Somebody gets stomped. You're getting stomped.
Yeah, I think it is a bit of a concern that there isn't that if that's the case where no one is going to. I don't want it to be like hockey where you just got a goon on the team.
No, and I don't want fights either.
I don't either.
No. It's a getting even.
Yeah, well, it's just sending a message. It's not even about getting even. It's not like,
But after the fourth one, nobody?
Well, he fouled him. He hit him with the elbow, and then a minute later, he runs through his back.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Somebody on our team has to go take a yellow and deliver a message and maybe even stand over him like, really, bro?
That's what I would do on the field.
I mean,
it is a young team. It's a new team, so maybe they'll get there. But it is
the
interesting.
Fans love it. Like, if nothing else, just do it because the fans love it, right?
Yeah.
Kick him again. They even have a chant that they sing in the South End about hit him again.
To that point, though, the foul on Marchuk turned the game.
Yeah.
And
because
that's what I'm
all
saying.
of a sudden,
they got away with bullying.
I like what you did there. You did a little full circle moment just in time for
Nashville-
halftime. That's
Yeah,
good.
Nashville turned. The game turned after that.
Yeah.
And Nashville, they ended up with the chip on their shoulder, tilted the field in their direction, and then it was a lot of pressure on Real Salt Lake. And it wasn't, they scored in the 30th minute, and then they just kept coming after RSL.
Yeah.
The one save by Cabral, point blank, in the 43rd minute against Hani Mukhtar was just so good. The guy... the guy is so good. I wonder, somebody made a comment, like, I wonder if that guy is going to stick around.
4-on-2 break. They get it wide to Sturridge. He crosses it back, taps it over. He's inside. He's in between the spot and the 6. Hani Mukhtar, one of the best finishers in MLS. And Cabral stonewalls him, man. Like, what a freaking save. He's there by himself.
There was a lot of coast, and there was a lot of wide open Nashville players in that box.
Yeah, on that play. I was like, dude, what? Anyway, I was super
But Cabral has saved them so many times this season.
Can you imagine if we didn't have that guy? If we were like...
We might have one win. It might have been Seattle. But we've only got 3 so far, but imagine how bad it would be. That goal differential is sitting at -5.
I know, and with the 5 losses, guys, that's looking ugly.
So we end up going to the halftime 1-1.
Yep.
It's halftime. It's time for
Orange slices.
Orange slices. Who worked their butt off and earned an orange slice? Brennan, Amunja.
That's a long...
I'm going to say Mark Juke.
Good.
Well, actually, no. Yeah, I already said it.
Yeah, go for it. Tell us why.
No takebacks.
Mark Juke, because in this game, he was still isolated, and he is slowly forming his ability to move to the goal in a way that allows him to get the ball at his feet. I liked his hustle. I liked that he put in a lot of work off the ball to get into the right places. I mean, that first chance you see him, like, he puts his head down and he just books it. Like, that's a hard run to make without any promise of scoring. But I think this kid is incredibly talented, and he's going to be able to, after this, getting that goal and just seeing him, I mean, I think he's going to be really successful in these next couple of games.
My only question is when.
These next couple of games.
Couple of games.
Andres Gomez, which is the best player that ever happened. He was so good. Oh my gosh, he went past one person
all the time. That's what everybody forgets. You only remember the cool stuff.
Yeah.
Remember so many times
he had
just kicked the
14
ball
chances
out
in
of
one
bounds.
game, and he had one goal off of 14 chances. Mark Juke had 2.
Yeah.
And he had a goal off of one of them.
Right.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think Mark Juke goofs up as much as Andres does.
No. And I hate it so much.
Tyler, orange slice.
Andres Gomez. Just kidding. Just kidding.
He's not even doing well either.
I know. It's too bad. But, we got him a chance, and that's what people want. So come here, do well. We'll give you a chance to go somewhere else. Yeah, I don't know.
You don't want to say Cabral because you know he's going to say Cabral.
I'm not.
No,
I'm not going to say Cabral.
I don't want to say Cabral because I don't think that he was the standout. I think Mark Juke was the standout of the first half. I don't know that I have another orange slice besides that. I think Anelli and Ojeda played okay, but they didn't play well enough to get an orange slice. You know what I mean?
My orange slice is for the entire game. Brian Vera. I thought it was the best game he played all season.
He was
tucked
strong.
in shirts, making
They
moves.
tucked the shirt in.
The shoulder to shoulder on Mukhtar in the box late.
Gosh, the best.
I love that.
That made me stand up. I was so excited.
That was a great play.
Yeah, he is playing well.
He always plays well.
He's had 2 good games so far, and maybe he's turned a corner, and he's the player everybody thinks he is. But I thought he played. He had the assist on the goal, and or was that on? He almost had the assist. That was the one.
Yeah, he almost had the assist on the first chance.
But he was in there making play after play. I thought the first 20 minutes, that back line was ready. They were playing well. Nashville was trying to get behind them, and Glad was making plays, and Vera was making plays, and Cabral was obviously making plays. But yeah, Brian Vera gets my orange slice.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you go
That's
with one?
fair.
Who did you say?
I didn't pick. I don't know that I can.
Are you stingy?
I like the first 20 minutes, but then things dropped off so much, and like I think across the midfield they all made a lot of mistakes, and so like that first 20 minutes was kind of canceled out by the constant like missing and like bad passes and passes out of bounds and trying to dribble.
Oh, you're talking about Bodie?
And I'm thinking about Luna when he would get the ball in tight spaces and instead of playing out of it, he kind of just ran into people and lost the ball. And you know what I mean? Like that second half of the first half was so bad that I don't know that I could pick somebody. Cabral made some weird passes out of the back, right? Like I think only your 2 players deserve the orange slice.
I wanted to talk to you guys about something though. Towards the end of this first half and a lot of the second half, it felt though that when we had the ball, we were like our time on the ball or our movement was just too fast for what we could handle. Do you know, like when you're playing in a rush and you're playing outside of your means, it felt that way. Do you agree with that?
Either
like
too slow or too fast.
Well,
never at the right
and
speed,
also the
right?
time on the ball. Like, and Nelly had a couple runs, where he goes through the middle and makes his way, and he really kind of says, "Hey, let's go." He got dispossessed quite a bit.
That's what I mean, right? Like,
and then
he took it one dribble too far.
Yeah.
Like he got one, and then he'd get another, and then instead of just owning that space and letting the next play happen, and his teammates working for him, he kind of ran out of real estate.
Their overall flow was not there.
Yeah,
like it was too rushed, in my opinion.
Yeah, and either too rushed or too slow. Either one was.
Yeah,
the timing was off.
Too lax.
You have those games.
I did like watching Anelli this season because you can see him. he's going to pass back, and he goes, no, wait a second, I'm going to go forward. So he's reminding himself to go forward.
Yeah,
and I thought
and he
that happened
dribbles
a couple
well.
of times. I think we saw it with Glad in the last couple of games, and Vera, where all of a sudden
Barrett took it up too.
they just go forward. I would love to see more players do that for RSL. Just turn and go forward, and if it's not there, like you said, find your teammate.
And the last point I want to make about the first half was when we combine well, we're really good. Like you go back and watch that goal and the Mark Juke almost goal and Luna's one chance and Puel's chance. Those were all good team setups. So I'm hopeful, right? Don't get me wrong. Just because I'm not handing out orange slices left and right doesn't mean I don't believe in this team.
You don't want to devalue an orange slice. We don't want to devalue it.
Right. We just want to give them out willy-nilly.
You don't want to do that.
No. Willy or nilly. Plus, there's none of those on our team. So the team just, like, we're good. And I don't think we're as bad as our 3-5 record dictates. But I think we're going to get better results coming up if we keep focusing on the team, you know, because the team is the star. That's what I heard.
We are who they think we think.
I did give out an orange slice today at work. Somebody asked me, "Oh, you guys do that Random Fan podcast?" And they had heard of us, and I said, "Yeah, you want an orange slice?" And he's like, "I do want an orange slice," and he knew what that meant. So I did give that out. So there you go, Gus.
Good job, Gus.
Gus gets the orange slice. Yeah, the sticker.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, and if you want one, hit us up on Insta this week, and let's see if we can get you.
Tell us why.
Tell us why you deserve a sticker.
Tell us why you deserve an orange slice,
and we'll get you one.
Yeah, we'll get you one.
Yeah, you can have Tyler's orange slice of the week.
Yeah, because he didn't give one out. We got an extra one.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, because Tyler's not going to give one out. He's being stingy.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
So halftime. Anything else at halftime? Anything you want to talk about? We don't have any.
Push one of them buttons.
I'm gonna get it.
Nope.
Okay, that's halftime's over, everyone, and we're as we limped into the second half with some piss poor play out of the back. Real comes back and tries to get after it again.
Well, and I think Nashville picked up right where they left off. And they just came out at us with pressure, and we struggled to.
Brugman, man, he should have scored twice. Honestly, he missed the goal twice. One was just a weird touch. The second one, the first one, he should have just scored. Like Cabral pressured him, but all he had to do was hit the target. Cabral was in a bad spot and was late, but he hit it and he just missed the target. And then Cabral cleaned him out, and he was like, "Ow, call a penalty."
Yeah, I thought at least Cabral came out. He comes out. He's active. He doesn't give away cheap goals. I don't think he hasn't anyway yet. Knock on wood.
What was the yellow card for 51st minute for Gonçalves?
It was the gentleman foul that he tried to do when he wrapped him up.
When he couldn't foul the guy, and they were trying to run.
And he was running, and he was trying to grab him, and he fell to the ground. He came back and gave him a yellow.
I think we got 2 yellows on that play.
We did, Ojeda.
No, that was the play later with Glad and Ojeda, right? Where they got the yellow cards consecutively. I don't remember that first yellow card. Sorry.
No, that was the one, Gonçalves. That was the one where he tried to grab him a couple of times, and he just got by him.
Oh, and then he just gave me a yellow card anyway?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was yelling at the TV on that one. I was like, wait, it's called stopping a promising attack. That's what the yellow card is called. And he did not stop a promising attack.
He tried.
He annoyed the hell out of a promising attack. That's not the same thing.
Well, he got a yellow card for not doing it right. For not doing it good enough.
You suck at stopping a promising attack. Take this yellow card, you sucker.
You embarrassed all of us.
So dumb. And Ojeda cleaned out Mukhtar on that play. So I get that. And then Glad took the yellow. And they were basically on the same play.
Yeah.
So Ojeda, get it right, dude. If you're going to clean somebody out And take the yellow, stop the attack too.
Yeah.
You know?
And then we had the subs. I thought they could have subbed earlier, but Barea came in for
felt like we
Peel.
should
I
have.
feel like you say that every podcast.
No, it felt like we
Felt like
should
it could have
have.
been sooner.
They brought in Schaffelberg and pulled out Kassem because Kassem had 2 or 3 chances and wasn't doing it. And Schaffelberg, I think, is a good player. I'd love to see him on Real, but he's Canadian, so never mind.
What?
We have to tax him
You
and
get
tariff
an
him.
international slot, and you get a national spot, and you.
Yeah, we don't have enough international slots.
We're giving them away like Oprah.
No, we're buying them from everybody else, man. Can we have your international slot? We'll give you fake money for it.
I'm talking about the players.
Oh,
Giving
yeah.
them the international slots to players.
Yeah.
You get one, and you.
He's Canadian. You'd think he'd be playing for one of those Canadian teams that can use him better, but he's sticking at Nashville, and he did pretty well.
This Barea guy, though, he's going to start this next game.
He needs to.
I like watching him, how he moves, instead of Piol, he is exactly the piece that's going to allow us to be successful. Being able to be his movement.
What do you see is different?
Piol is how fast can I run this way? Everything is towards the goal, pretty much, right? And Barea waits. He waits for the team to get up there. He's not expecting the ball right away and just trying to get into this one-on-one stuff. He's waiting. He's sitting there. He's staying in front of his defender, and he's waiting for the ball to be played so then he can work with the guys running up the field. And he's got the same rhythm as Diego Luna. He's got the same rhythm as like Diogo when he's moving, and so like that is what I see as a number 9.
I was surprised he didn't start, especially after the comments post game when Mastroeni was talking about how Barea and Luna and Diogo all speak the same soccer language. So I was really surprised he didn't start.
He's kind of got the Chicho-esque when Chicho was in his prime type of movement. He's not the fastest.
So last year when Chicho was in his prime.
Well, not even then because Chicho was still getting outstretched and he was doing a lot of excess running. But Chicho, when he was on LAFC, he every time he made a move, it was within a certain distance of the players around him. And Barea is understanding
that connection to the rest of the team. You think is going to be what puts him in the starting spot?
Yeah, because when you get when you extend the amount of distance or the amount of grass that you have to kick a ball to me, like that is not going to be conducive to a 4-man back line. It's not going to work. And Barea is just so clever with his movement. You don't need to be the fastest.
Yeah. I think he deserves a start. I think he earned it, and I hope he gets it soon. Honestly,
I think it's the next game for sure.
Yeah.
Should we put a bet on it?
I'd love to bet on it.
Okay. What do we bet?
What do we bet? I'll bet you an orange slice.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Or
Loser has to wear pasties on the next podcast.
I don't know what that means.
This little thing that cover your nipples.
There's nipple covers.
Yeah.
Band-Aids, you mean? What are you,
Okay.
runners?
Yeah,
What are runners?
Do they have to have tassels?
Oh, is that what those? Oh, okay. I see what you're. Okay, I know what that is. That's that's a. Okay.
Play dumb,
Weird.
Tyler. Your
All
wife
right,
doesn't
so-
listen. You don't have to play dumb.
So, I did want to bring up. I thought this was honestly the best looking set of uniforms throughout the whole season so far. Nashville's kit and our kit together on the same field look just fantastic. I love their bright yellow with that dark blue. It just the combination, and then they went with the blue shorts, and I hate when they go yellow shorts. I think that's annoying. Yellow and yellow and yellow. It doesn't work for me. But with their blue shorts and our color combination, I just thought it was the best looking.
You haven't
kit
said something
lineup
like
all
that
game.
in like the 2 seasons.
I know. It was very pleasing to the eye.
It was. You could really define who was fouling who.
Yeah.
And
was
they fouled us a lot. a lot in this game.
So the second half, they put a lot of pressure on us, and then we made some subs, and then boom, in the 70th minute, RSL almost out of nowhere with some good play builds up down to our right side. They find Mark Juke, and he sends in just a wonderful ball across the goal, and Barea,
last man back post.
he finds the back of the net. I didn't know that's what you're supposed to do when you're that close. Like
You didn't know that?
no, watching the game earlier, when Mark Juke had the same opportunity and he sent it wide. And there's been quite a bit of it.
Lachlan Brook came on.
Brooke came on, and I'm really hoping that he can figure it out.
Were we going to talk about the offside?
Yeah. So anyway, the goal comes in, and you think that, oh man,
we're up. This is a beautiful goal.
We're gonna steal a point at the very least. We're gonna steal a point.
Yeah.
Right? And Barea, they're all pumped, and then the offside call. Yeah, he was offside, and that's one where how can you be offside, right?
Yeah, that setup play, you gotta take it right. Like you're looking down the line, you're right there with the assistant referee. You be one step back, dude. Don't be Anderson Julio on us. Come on, man.
That's not the role you want to take.
No.
He does slow his cadence a little bit, but it's just not abrupt enough for the pass he's getting.
Right. Yeah, it's just and then good finish by Barea. Gets his body in front of that cross and just right foots it. Right? He could have taken it left footed too if he had to. Yeah. He put his body in a good position to finish that, and it was such a good paced ball on that cross that Willis didn't cover hardly any ground. He was blocking almost none of the goal, but before he actually kicked it in. So Willis was hung out to dry. There was no chance for him. Yeah, it was a great finish, but the one step off, And to be fair, Lovitz might have covered it because he was getting close to the cross on that anyway. So.
Oh man! Well, first off, Lockie comes in, the guy who's not afraid of sharks at all. Shout out, Lockie.
Brennan did a great job on the interview. Get to know you with Lachlan Brook.
It was all Lachlan.
He's already in third place too now on his on the YouTube channel for most.
Oh really?
Watches, yeah.
Maybe I'll have to interview him.
Philip Quinton's still in first place though.
That guy's nice, man. He
is so nice.
Yeah.
He also did make fun of him a little bit because I don't go hiking with him.
Oh yeah,
because he's got too long legs.
Too long. Yeah.
His stride is just not human.
Can't keep up, I guess.
I like how the interviewer asked him about sharks because the interviewer might be scared of sharks.
Well, he said he loves the beach.
Right.
And if you don't know
Getting
anything...
in the water.
Okay, let's go side.
Let's
halftime.
do it.
Here we
go. Side,
so now,
3/4 time.
You're in Australia. You're in Australia, okay? You're in the southern part of Australia. You're out in the waters. Adelaide. Just do something for me, okay? This is what Shark Week did.
Okay.
They take their sweet little boat. They get like 40 feet of rope and then a pretend seal, and they just drive around with the camera fixated on the back. And then a 20-foot freaking great white shoots up into the air, full body out of the water, lands back in.
The water.
You're telling me you're okay going in that water?
In Adelaide, Australia, mate.
No,
by Kangaroo Island.
You are out of your freaking mind.
I don't know how people...
Because not only that, you will see a shark, but you're going to be dead. Or you don't see a shark at all, and then all of a sudden not an octopus, a jellyfish stings you, and you're dead anyways. I don't know how they surf down there.
Yeah, I don't either. Wow. And then they take out their pet tarantula and take it for a walk or something. And spiders are huge down there.
And he even said he was just like, no. Like I'll just maybe get out of the water.
No worries, mate.
Maybe get out of the water. What do you mean, mate? Maybe?
Nah, mate.
Oh.
So yeah,
I love that. He has a great accent. Go look it up on our YouTube channel. It's beautiful. By the way, Adelaide is in the South Australia.
That's where the sharks are.
Basically the New Orleans of Australia. So, check that
Anyways,
out.
back to the regular podcast.
Let's talk about the penalty.
The penalty. Penalty.
So, Jair Marufo at this point of the game is kind of getting tired of Real Salt Lake. He's thinking, We got to send
hanging
these
around.
home fans around. We got to send them home with another goal. I got to figure out a way to ruin this game for Real Salt Lake. My name is Jared Marufo. I've done it in the past by, kicking out Kyle Beckerman, letting people hack Javi. Like, the classic refereeing of, super referees gone by, the Ted Uncles of the day, if you will. And, at the first of the game, when I saw Jared Marufo, I said to my wife, I hope he doesn't screw this game up.
Why do you say that stuff out loud?
Because I don't.
Dude, you every time this stuff happens, you're like, oh yeah, I told my brother, oh yeah, I said this. Like, stop saying it out loud.
All right, I'll just put it up on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
All right, here's the prediction. Jared Marufo screws this game up somehow and we lose.
So, can you explain to me, like, I'm usually not the guy that's like, that's not a foul. That's stupid. I'm usually not that guy. But for some reason in this game, I do not understand how that is a penalty. He is not even looking at the guy, and he is looking up at the ball, and he runs it, not even running into the guy. He runs with the guy, and the guy falls down.
I was really disappointed in Mukhtar. I thought maybe he's losing a step. He was really trying to play games.
He was not good all game.
But I don't think this is a penalty. I
don't think it's a penalty either.
I think this is probably the first time I'll ever say it. I don't think it's a penalty either. I really don't understand.
And I get why it didn't go down for a review, because it's a judgment call, and they're both going for the ball. The ball's in no one's possession.
Yeah, how is that?
And so it's just I don't love it. I get it. I get why you call that a penalty kick, but here's the thing. I think that we should have penalty kicks for the following reasons. Number one, your arm blocks the goal. The ball's going in, and your arm is in the way, and you block it. That should be a goal. Or, if not, a penalty kick in either red or yellow, depending on, whatever. Okay? I think that you should have a penalty kick when you trip the guy who's dribbling the ball in the box.
Yeah, you have possession of the ball.
Yeah, you're dribbling in. You're going to score. You're a real clear threat on goal. Okay? And then you knock him over.
Right.
Penalty kick.
Good.
Sure. When the ball's popped up in the air and nobody has possession, I don't think you should be able to just go deck a guy. But if you're running towards the ball where you feel it's going to land and the other guy just jumps in front of you and stops, I don't think you call a penalty for that. I think you really want me to call a penalty, flop. It's a flop. You jump in front of somebody and you let them run into you while they're going for the ball and you don't have possession, right? No. If you have possession, fine. You have possession, that's a penalty. But there's no way Hani Mukhtar had possession of that ball. It was not even close to him.
And also, if you look at the route, Palacio is straight towards where the ball is landing.
And
Hani Mukhtar is veering right to go left.
He's trying to get in front of Palacio to draw a penalty. He's baiting a penalty. He's not playing good soccer. And that's why I hate that call.
Yeah. I can see why it was called. I was really hoping for more angles. They only show us 2 angles.
Right.
And I want... There should be a better, more definitive angle that we could see. But from what I see, I think Mukhtar was already going down. He was trying to get a penalty kick, stuck his leg out, and he got it.
Mm-hmm. And instead of going for a review, which I would have loved to see, you went for a review for the red card. Why would you not go for the penalty?
And if that's a penalty, that's a red card. If that's what we're giving out.
Or at least a yellow, right? Did he get a yellow for that? I didn't see his name on the yellow sheet.
No.
Yeah, weird.
And then Sturridge scored the penalty kick. I was hoping Cabral, the soccer gods, would. Yeah, see, I don't know. I guess, the more I watch it, the first angle.
I think it's because Palacio's on the outside. He's not closest to the goal. But I freaking hate Sturridge. That guy was
crappy all game. We owned him all game long, and then he's the player of the game. They named him player of the game.
No, that's stupid because Honey Mukhtar should have taken that penalty.
Well, and Mukhtar gave it to him. I get it, right? But, trying to help your team, and Katranis is pissed and kicks the ball up into the stands after the game.
Lachlan, wasn't it Lachlan?
Was it Lockie?
I think it was
Katranis, one of the two.
So RSL ends up going down to 2-1. I think this might be the closest game we've ever had. We talk about where the refs have an impact on the game, but at the same time, I will throw in this asterisk. If you aren't going to take your opportunities and put the ball in the back of the net, you open yourself up for this kind of disappointment.
Right, but that penalty, that time of the game, you're giving away points. Jeremy Marufo took a point away.
Probably.
I'm calling it. That's what I'm calling. I'm pissed at him.
That's the Tyler I know and love.
And
that's the Tyler I'm like, this guy, and that's what he would say.
I think every single Real Salt Lake fan looks at that and goes, BS.
And you can't do anything about it. You can't.
You can't review that away because it's a judgment call, and it sucks. But if you take the ref for his whole thing of work, if there's 10 fouls in the first half, and 2 yellow cards for them, was it in the first half? Something like that. 9 fouls, and they calmed down in the second half. But is that good refereeing? If they're reviewing this, if the referees are all sitting around going, okay, let's take a look at Jair's, body of work for this game. There were 45 fouls from Nashville. He called, I don't know, how many did he call? 16, right? Real Salt Lake had 8 fouls. So we played clean, by and large, right? But he handed out, what is that? 4 yellow cards to them, 3 to us. 2 in 1 play, right? We caught up real quick. To me, if you're fouling 16 times, maybe, especially when they're getting up in the throat, and we've seen guys sent off for less. So I just think overall, poor performance from Jeremy Marufo, definitely slanted towards Nashville. There was no 50-50 call that went our way throughout the game. Maybe a throw in here or there.
Well,
right?
you have to kind of force that. I think if you look at the expected goals, they had an expected goals of 3.1, and I think a lot of that came after our first goal, after the 20th minute mark.
Yeah,
and we got the goal, and then we ended up with 1.2. So I don't think we did enough
in the second half, especially. We did not play.
We did not do enough, and maybe that was it. Maybe that was Nashville making better changes and we didn't counter. But if you look at it, they had 22 shots, so we had 12 shots. So they were the ones.
But shots on goal was 7-5. I think it was way more close than that dictated.
Well, they also the ball was at our 18 way too often.
Yeah. So I think we are who we are.
That's a great statement.
We are who we are.
It is what it is. I got more insight. We are where we are.
We are where we are. Well, when you are not going to take advantage of your opportunities.
Right. Small thumb.
And you're going to continuously give away opportunities in the box. Even though.
Index finger. Clearly that's an index finger.
If you're going to keep doing that, then you have to suffer the consequences.
And that's the consequence.
And if you aren't going to bring in a striker, but I think they are, we'll see what happens by the end of the window.
Okay. We'll see what Gail Miller thinks about bringing in a striker.
No. We need to talk about this. If you look at our team as a whole, a striker is not going to solve the issues that we have. Where is this saving grace that, we just need a number 9, it would be good? Like, Piol is not a bad player. Barea is a fantastic player.
No, I think you have to have someone with more experience that has more intangibles, that is going to put away more opportunities than these guys.
Oh no! If we get a striker, we get a high level winger, And
I
then
think you need more than a striker. Yeah, this team needs more than a striker. That's for sure.
we get ourselves a legitimate right back that like people are gonna stand behind. Like we're still always gonna be missing pieces when we don't connect the dots, man. We need a bone, baby.
We're Real Salt Lake, and we're never going to have all the pieces. The way we can have all the pieces is we have guys come out of the academy like Bodie, who play above their station, if you will, and they contribute at a level that's sufficient.
Right. I like that.
You know what I mean? And if he can play sufficient right back, and that means defend well and pass good enough going forward, and occasionally get a cross in that matters, that's a good right back for us. That's a good right back. Not a great right back, but it's a good enough right back for us. Because we're Real Salt Lake. We're never going to go get that world-class Jordi Alba kind of guy. Right? That's not us.
Well,
right?
let's see. Let's turn it on there. Okay. So yes, we're sufficient with Bodie Hidalgo. Now, tell me, did the LA Galaxy have anyone that was Bodie Hidalgo or anyone like Piol?
They had 3 guys like that. Yeah.
Who?
Well, we're talking about Galaxy. This is the Nashville game.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, like, if we're just looking as a team, we're just thinking of it as, okay, are we sufficient? Like, we should be thinking, are we a team that is going to win it? Like, Real Salt Lake doesn't think, what do we need to do to win it? It's always just, what can we do to be just a little bit better?
And the way that we're going to have something where we can win it is not the way we did it last time. It's not going to work that way this time because there's way too much more money in the league. There's way more teams with way more deep pockets out there. The way we're going to do it is we're going to have to maximize our DPs.
Yeah.
And we're not. And we're going to have the rising generation coming up, the Lunas, the Bodie Hidalgos, right? We're going to have a couple of those guys coming in, and we're going to have to hold on to a couple of those leadership guys, the Glads, nobody else. That's the problem. That's what we're missing, I think, is just a little bit of leadership, a little bit of that 30-year-old guy on our team that's like working his tail off day in, day out.
And that's a lot of the time, that's the DP. A lot of the time, it's just the...
But we're not going to go sign an old DP like that, I don't think.
No, what we got looked at is a younger talented guy. What's his name? The striker.
From the European League.
Yeah, the European League.
Yeah, Ronaldo.
No. He started with a B, and he has like 7 goals.
Borovicek.
In like 9 games or something.
Yeah, it wasn't overly impressive, but he might be a standout here. And I think you're right. I don't think that the pieces are all meshing together. I think we have some good pieces. Diogo is not the designated player that I think everybody expected him to be. That could change, maybe if.
Yeah, not so far. Not this year.
Not
last year.
Yeah, he hasn't played a full season with us yet, but still the optics aren't looking like he's going to be someone that is going to carry the team.
And
but
that's
he
what
does
we need.
he does have intangibles, and he does show some glimpses of being someone that's out there working hard, running a lot. But is he running effectively? Is he running efficiently? Diego Luna, for whatever reason, did not have a real big impact on this game.
Every time he tried to take people off the dribble, it just didn't work. Right?
And I think our RSL does a much better job when they aren't trying to be individuals and when they're working together.
Agreed.
We saw it with the first goal. They passed the ball around the right side, they went all the way to the back, and then they sprung them over the top. When they try and make individual plays, that's where they get hurt. That's where they turn the ball over. It needs to be a team dynamic, and maybe Barea and Diogo and Luna can figure that out. I don't think Piol and Forster or Jago are the 2 players.
Forster wasn't even in the 18. Yeah,
to combine with those 2 players.
Yeah.
And